Let's talk about something that drives leaders absolutely crazy. That huge, frustrating gap between having a brilliant strategy on paper and seeing it actually happen in the real world. We're going to dive into a behavior-first approach that's designed to finally close that gap.
So, you've done the work, right? You've had the big meetings, the strategy offsites, you've got the PowerPoints, your priorities are crystal clear. But something's just not clicking. The momentum you expected isn't there, and the results, well, they aren't following. This is one of the most common challenges out there, and it points to a disconnect that goes way deeper than just planning. Well, there's a name for this. It's the strategy execution gap, and it's that maddening space between your company's ambition, what you want to happen, and what's actually happening on the ground day to day. So let's break down what this actually looks and feels like inside a company.
Sound familiar? I bet it does. You've got the strategy documented, but you see it being executed one way here and another way over there, if at all. Big, expensive transformation projects, they launch with a bang and then, poof, they just fizzle out. Decisions crawl, teams are stuck in their own little silos, and trying to innovate feels like pushing water uphill. And oh, the training workshops. You spend all this money, and the very next day, it's like it never even happened.
Okay, so this leads to a really crucial question. If these problems are so universal, why do our typical attempts to fix them, the classic culture initiatives, almost always fall flat? Well, the answer is a huge misunderstanding of what culture actually is.
The reason most of these initiatives fail is pretty simple. They're focused on all the wrong stuff. They try to inspire people with big, abstract ideas from the top down, but they completely ignore the daily, ground-level reality of how work actually gets done.
In this slide really shows a tale of two worlds. On the left, you've got the traditional approach. We've all seen it. Values posters on the wall, a one-day workshop everyone forgets, and basically, a lot of hope. But what actually works? That's on the right. It's all about concrete, observable behaviors, designing the work environment to make those behaviors easy, and empowering middle managers to lead the charge, all backed by actual science.
And this quote just nails it. Culture isn't the mission statement you hang in the lobby. Culture is the sum of all the little things that happen when the boss isn't watching. It's what people do. And here's the kicker. If you don't intentionally design those behaviors, they will emerge on their own. And you probably won't like the ones you get. So if culture is just a collection of behaviors, then the solution suddenly snaps into focus, doesn't it? You have to stop treating culture like some vague magical force. You have to start treating it like your company's operating system, something you can intentionally design, install, and upgrade to get the performance you want.
And this means we've got to shift our thinking, big time. Let's take a classic value, like innovation. A poster with that word is completely useless. Instead, a behavior-first approach asks, what do people do when they're being innovative around here? Maybe they share half-baked ideas without getting shut down. Maybe they run tiny, fast experiments. See, those are real actions you can design and encourage.
So how do you do that? Well, there's a key tool for this called behavior-to-outcome mapping. And look, this isn't about just picking behaviors that sound nice. No, it's a really rigorous process of identifying the very specific actions that will directly drive a specific business outcome. Your goal is faster decisions? Okay, what's the behavior? Maybe it's decisions are made by the person closest to the information. You map the action to the result. And when you nail this, man, the results are huge. You get real alignment, not just lip service. Decisions speed up. People take more ownership. And those big transformation projects, they actually stick for once because the daily behaviors needed to support them are now just part of the system. So, how do you build it? It starts with a clear plan.
The good news is, this isn't just some abstract idea. There's a systematic process, a blueprint for making it happen.
It all starts with phase 1, strategic diagnosis. You have to figure out what's really getting in the way. Then phase 2 is the behavior blueprint. This is where you literally translate your big strategy goals into tiny, observable actions. Phase 3 is huge, systems architecture. You re-engineer routines, meetings, even rewards to make doing the right thing the easy thing. And finally, cascade and activation. This is where you empower your middle managers because they're the ones who are going to make this real for everyone.
Okay, as we start to wrap this up, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. Your organization's culture is not an accident. It's a system that has been designed, whether you did it on purpose or not. In fact, your current culture is perfectly designed to get the results you're getting right now. So if you want different results, you have to make a different design choice. You have to choose to build a culture that actually powers your strategy instead of one that fights it every step of the way.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. Forget the big, fluffy values for a second. Let's get real. Think about action. What is the one behavior, just one, that if every single person in your organization started doing it tomorrow would completely transform your results? The answer to that question, that's your starting point. Thanks for tuning in.